I welcome each and every one of you on behalf of Edureka to this exciting course of Talent for Big Data. We'll start with the primarily with the objective, and I had also prepared one of the use cases using some of the mass data in the banking industry, as well as I had prepared some of the social media weblog data where a lot of unstructured data has been used using Talent for Big Data to do data analysis, where companies are primarily looking out for generating a word cloud and predominantly looking to generate some of the business out of it. All right, and we see also how this talent job has been implemented using Hadoop. So all right, now it's time for to see the big picture and a few of the use cases that I have exclusively built for you with few of my prior client experience. I've almost traveled half of the globe. We have done a lot of solutions for many of the clients use in ETL, in business intelligence and big data and a lot of data analysis. Now we will all see quickly what Talent can do in minutes, reducing the man hours in doing the MapReduce programming in Hadoop. All right. I'm going back to the industry use case. The use case which I had prepared, okay. For that use case, we have used the setup of we are using Hortonworks Sandbox 1.3. We are using Talend Open Studio for Big Data 5.5. We are using Windows 7, as you can see, and I'm using a normal laptop. I'm having a 4 GB RAM and it's a i3 processor, so I'm not using any hi-fi configuration hardware here. I'm just using normal Windows 7 4 GB RAM i3 processor to make my big data sandbox, my big data box, and my Talent up and running and kicking off the MapReduce programming. Okay. Now we have collected unstructured weblog file where people came into Facebook and they have spoken a lot about big data, trend of Hadoop and all that. And people can write, as you understand, people can write in Facebook anything they would like to do, right? And that could possibly generate a huge weblog data. Okay, so we have generated that. We have extracted this one of the weblog file from Facebook, and what we are going to do is we have extracted that into our local file system, obviously. So using the job, everything is automated. Talend is going to transfer this file from the local to HDFS, all right, in seconds, and then Talend is going to read this file from within the HDFS. It is going to analyze the data. It is going to process this data via the pick script and achieve the required result. Now, what is the I will tell you the business case and what is the expected out of it in minutes. All right. And before we just jump into the hands-on, because we are not going to come back to the slides anymore. So quickly, this is the salary trend. Okay, for the Talend ETL developer, for few of the people who asked how is it performing starting from 2012 to 2014. If you see, it's clearly showing upward trend in terms of the job market. Okay, it has been taken from Indeed. Let me quickly show you that what all specifications we have used. Okay, we have used Talend for big data. This is how Talend Open Studio looks like. Okay, I'll explain more in depth in detail of the architecture during our class, because today, because of the time constraint of the webinar, it doesn't allow me to getting deep into Talend. But primarily, this is a graphical user interface, as you see, and you see all the component list here. And in big data area, it supports most of the thing. So use cases. One second. Use cases. See the file which we have used for our analysis. This is the file. I hope everyone can see my screen. This is the file that we have taken for the analysis. All right. It's an unstructured weblog file. Here people have just normally used the text data. Okay. Everyone just talk about big data. Then the most hyped internet talk is big data in 2014. Hadoop is so much in demand for data storage and all that. Anyone who came, they have used any punctuation mark, they have spoken some or other thing about big data. Now, one of my clients' expectation is they want to make some business, serious business out of it. They want to know which are the word or which are the term with which to you can connect to the audience, or you can connect to the pitch of the market, and you can do certain business on top of it. What is it that people love to talk more and they want to listen more? Which are the most hyped word in this log file? So this is a kind of random analysis, data analysis, and what you call sentiment analysis that my client wants to do on top of the weblog file. And my client has just given me this weblog file, as simple as that. And they asked me that they asked us like, how do you do the data analysis? And they want to know the top trend, the top 5 most spoken about words, and they want to prepare one word cloud based on top of it. You might have seen word cloud and banners everywhere across the hoardings and all that. That is primarily called a word cloud. Okay, so using Talend for big data, what we have done is we have connected to big data. Okay, connecting to the HDFS, we have connected to HDFS step 1. These things have been done just within minutes, just using drag and drop. To save time, I had prepared this job just before we started the class. I have connected to the HDFS. Okay, and then I have transferred the files from my local system. The file which I am showing you is in my local system, in my C drive Talend input web extract 1.txt. Within fraction of second, it is going to Talend is going to transfer this file from the local file system into the HDFS directory to user root test data. Okay, and the file name that it is going to transfer is going to, I'm just going to name the file as what cloud x. That's the file which is going to get generated now. Okay, and the same file I'm going to read. Okay, what cloud x. I'm going to read the same file. Okay, and I'll just show you quickly how do you access the HDFS data. I can also access the HDFS data. This is my Hortonworks sandbox 1.3. Okay, this is my command prompt. This is the Hadoop command prompt way, and I'm just using Oracle Virtual Machine. If you see, I'm using Oracle Virtual Machine Manager to make the Hortonworks sandbox up and running. This is the command prompt way of accessing the files. Same thing we can also access through it's running a little slow because yeah, all right. Same thing I can access through the URL, through the URL way. If you see, I can go to the same path from the URL that I would be accessing from here, where it is placing the file. User root test data word cloud x. Okay, user root test data, user root test data. There is no such file as of now called word cloud x. Okay, as soon as I will run the Talend job, it is going to first transfer the file from the local, which is C drive Talend input web extract 1.txt. It is going to transfer this file into the HDFS step 1. Okay, first it will connect to HDFS, second it will transfer the files, third, once the file is available within the HDFS, it is going to run bunch of Talend components where I do not need to do any hand coding, and it is going to do a data analysis in HDFS, which is in Hadoop system, which is a big data area. And what it will do, it will analyze this web extract data in HDFS, and it will produce the most frequently used spoken word again within the HDFS. So what it will do, it will analyze the data, it will separate, segregate all the data, it will sum and it will count the frequency, it will calculate the frequency of the most spoken word, and I'm going to sort this data based on the maximum count, and I'm going to display the result here. And I'm also going to create the file called word cloud output 3 into the target system. Okay, so I'll quickly run this job, and as of now, as I see, there was no file here called word cloud x, but you will see that in minutes, not minutes, in seconds, because there are many things up and running in my machine, and it's just a 4 GB RAM machine. So if you have a 8 GB or 6 GB RAM machine, your machine will run even faster than my machine. Okay, and that's a promise. Alright, let this job run. I'll do a quick bit of explanation on the job, how things are working, and then I promise you, I'll jump to all the questions and I'll answer most of the questions that has been asked on the question answer window. So please stay tuned over there. It's taking a little time to start up. As I said, there are many things running on my machine at the moment, so it gets heavy. Normally across industry and during the real-time project implementation, we use one of the strong mother node in terms of hardware, which actually does the job. So if you see now, it has started building the job, it's generating the job, and quickly you will see in the run console, it will show the result, as well as it will store this result in the HDFS. It is interacting with many interfaces. Plus my machine also had gone idle, so yeah, it has started now. As you see, it is connecting to HDFS. Perfect. As soon as it connected to HDFS, it just finished the job in seconds. Can you see that? Can you see that? Can I get a quick yes from each and every one of you? Can you see the result? Can I get a quick yes? Alright, thank you very much. Now, as you see, this job has started at 23:05 on 7th of May, and it finished in 23:05 within 7th May. So hardly it would have taken some 1 or 2 seconds actually to process this job. Only thing is, because I'm not using a very hi-fi configuration hardware, so and plus my machine has gone little bit overloaded, so it took some time to start up. So if you see the job statistics log, it is showing the word and the word count. Alright, and if you see here the job, it has read 11 rows initially because there were 11 rows here. Okay, but how it has done the analysis, it has taken each and individual word. It has taken each and individual word, it has split all the words, it has formatted it, it has taken the aggregation, and it has taken the count. So after it has taken the count, altogether there are 130 words in the entire weblog file. Imagine if it would have been a huge weblog file also, it would have done this count, and then it has summed up. It has also summed up the same words. So anything which is with uppercase, lowercase, spelling, misspelling, everything it has standardized also. So it is also doing data quality, data cleansing. Let me remind you, most of the MapReduce programming, they don't take care of data quality. Here the advantage that you get, you not only do data analysis, you not only do it on big data, but also you do with data quality and cleansing. So it makes a lot of sense out of the business data. And then it produces the result here, as well as it has stored this result where. So if you see the first few records here, first few results, so I come to know out of this analysis that words like in, big data, Hadoop, is, data, they are the most spoken and hyped words during the discussion on the web about a topic. So using these words, I can get connected to the sentiment of the web audience. This was the motive behind this analysis. So let's go quickly and check this file where it got created. User root test data, word cloud output 3. User root test data, user root test data, word cloud output 3. And do you see when it got created? It got created today at May 7th on India time zone 11:05 p.m. Dun, dun, you see word with the word count, all right, and with the same result that we were supposed to achieve. And have we written any MapReduce programming or any Java programming? Can I get a quick response? Have we done any programming? No, not at all. So this is a very small example, and within minutes I am going to showcase you a very quickly a jazzy dashboard that we would be generating from Talend. And the second use case that, okay, so Ravi is asking, very good question, Ravi. No, where is the logic written? Very good. That is where exactly we are going to learn during the course curriculum. But very quickly, I'll explain you what is it that I have done within the job. So if you see this weblog file, what we need to do is we are very interested to know each and individual word frequency, but here there is no delimiter, there is no row separator, right? So what we have to do, we have to treat each and individual word as row. For that, what I had done, I had used I had used a normalizer component in Talend. What it does, you have to tell that what I have done is reading I have done using just one column. I have not segregated my data. What I have told normalizer is, boss, you just separate each and individual word with space. So if you see here, all sentence have been written with the separator of space. Obviously, when we write using space bar, right? So cleverly, I had used the space as my separator and I have given it the input. And what I had asked is you separate each and everything into. So what it has done, it has splitted the column into rows. So 11 rows have become 130 rows. After that, what I had done, using a tmap component, which is equivalent in Informatica if you see expression transformation, in other component if you see transformation component. What I had done, I have standardized the data and I have transformed all the word into the uppercase, so that when I will compare, if you see here in the unstructured weblog file, somewhere it is written with big data with B caps and D small, somewhere it is written big data with B caps and D caps as well, but they are all the same. So when I take a frequency, I should not be counting big data separate and this big data separate. They are all same. So in order to make this data quality in one standard, that is what I was telling about data quality, I have made everything into uppercase. After I did the uppercase, I had aggregated my result. What I had done, I had calculated the count of each of the word and I have represented the count. I have given it to a sorter. Sorter is sorting it based on the descending order in terms of the calculation. And T-log row I am using to display the data. I am displaying the data as well as I am redirecting my input into a HDFS file. So the process is happening. I am reading the file in HDFS itself and I am doing all the analysis within HDFS and I am storing the result back into HDFS. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. I hope that answers most of the people's question. Shivakumar is saying as its scan is mentioned for what count, so how it's designed for what count default. So I had just answered that question, I believe. Can you check how many times the word demand is counted? Can we get only mapping output in Talend? Yes, we can. Can we handle all complex non-structured data with graphical Talend? Yes. Without using programming? Yes, Prashant. That is the beauty of Talend. That is the reason Talend is the biggest competitor to other ETL tool, because Talend is based on Eclipse Java platform. Even though Talend is not asking you to do programming, but Talend has given the capabilities and flexibility of programming in component. You can drag and drop and you can literally do programming. That will happen on backend, but you really do not need to do the programming. Can we integrate Python and other scripting language to get real time with Talend? Yes, Prasanna, yes. Because it is based on Eclipse Java platform, it also complements Python. The courses and certification that comes with learning MapReduce and Hadoop developer course and waste is Talend on the market. Yes, exactly. It is not going to waste. Different area NBOS is asking this question. Different area have different purpose. Okay. Talend is specifically Talend for big data is answering one particular area, which is data integration along with big data. Karan is asking, is there any way to filter out irrelevant data? Yes, there is. There are components like filter, row and all where we can filter out the data. No, we do not have to hard code Giridharan in order to remove the hyphen and all. Okay, so quickly let me show you the second best example. What we have done is there is a campaigning analysis. Okay, a banking industry use case. The second use case that I'm going to showcase is a banking industry use case. Okay, where what bank this particular a bank called Fantastic Bank. Okay, what they had done is they had done the campaigning in different cities across India for a new product launch. Okay, uh, they the campaigning analysis that they had done in Bangalore, the data that they collected from the Bangalore zone is this. Okay, this is as simple as the data, the city name, and the first log that says the first second field that it says is the total application, and then the total enrollment and no response. It's like how many applications they distributed in Bangalore, how many actually conversion or how many customers they've got which have done the enrollment, and how many no response they have got. Okay, as simple as this. Like this they will keep on getting the data from different cities like Chennai, like Delhi, like Hyderabad, like Mumbai. All right, and all this data comes in different files and just with small bit of information. Now their curiosity is they want to make some business sense out of this data. They want to decide which are the city where they are getting more failures in terms of getting the customer. So obviously they need to focus more on these cities, and which are the cities they are getting a very good conversion rate, and they want to know what is it that their employees are doing in these cities that they are getting more success rate. Okay, so in order to do these kind of analysis, Talend is quite capable of generating some interesting graphs. First it will collect the data. I'll explain you how it does. First it will collect all the data from this directory. Okay, it will prepare one file by clubbing all the file. It will unite all the files. It will prepare one file. Then it will aggregate the data. It is going to do that using the pig scripting. It will aggregate the data. It will produce one result, and that one result produced, you can see, is this file, one file. Okay, which will show only Mumbai data one row, only Hyderabad data one row, only Chennai data one row, only Delhi data one row, only Bangalore data one row. Once this data got generated in Talend, if you see, we can run a very simple job which will read this particular file. Okay, this particular file which got generated and clubbed from different cities, it is going to prepare the intermediate data result for the graph to get generated. Okay, and once it prepares this intermediate data that we have, it is going to prepare this graph. This particular graph that we are generating is called bank analysis. So this exercise I'm doing to showcase you that Talend is not only a data integration and big data tool, but it is also a data analysis and a very small scale graphical dashboarding tool, where rather than looking at numbers, if we see the graph, that speaks more than the numbers in a file. Okay, let me run this file and we'll go to C drive Talend output Edureka, C drive Talend output Edureka, bank analysis. So there is no such file existing as of now. I will just quickly run this job. Hang on there, see the magic. This job just got finished with 15 rows, and if you see, this file just got created, bank analysis just now, and it's an image file. If I open this file, there you go. It speaks more than just mere data. It's my campaign analysis. For Mumbai, it is saying that the total application received was 10 or 11, and total enrollment was less, and no response was more. So the performance is not that good. So obviously, only at looking at the color, I can interpret, just looking at this graph within fraction of second, that anywhere where the blue is more and almost close to the red, there the success rate is good. So Delhi has performed the best among most of the city. And who has performed worst? Chennai, Mumbai, these kind of city, they have more no response and less conversion. So you see how quickly it just generated the data, the analysis data, not only the analysis data, but it had represented the data very nicely. Okay, let me go back to the question answer window again. Okay, so that more or less, just for your information, that more or less brings us to the use case. We had showcased the two use case. One, using a word cloud analysis, unstructured weblog data. Second, we had collected the banking data, okay, and from different set of files, we have clubbed those files, we have prepared one intermediate file, and then we had used those files, that intermediate file, to generate a graph, so that Talend overcomes also the limitation of showcasing the jazzy dashboard graphs. Okay, all right. Sridhar is asking, can you please show the source code generated by Talend, the MapReduce program? Sridhar, unfortunately, the Talend Open Studio do not give the access to the MapReduce program on the backend, but the enterprise edition of the Talend for big data gives the access on the backend to the MapReduce program. It is exactly same as the MapReduce programming that you will end up writing. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Jayanta says, I took the Big Data Hadoop course from Edureka, but I think it's of no use with Talend coming into picture. Jayanta, everything has their own, flavor. Someone who is having a very strong Java background, for that person, MapReduce programming would not make too much of a difference, right? So that person will easily gel into MapReduce programming. But any person who doesn't have a Java background or MapReduce programming or any kind of programming background, then obviously Talend for big data is the definite solution. Yes. Sriram Shyam is saying, when we have huge data, then how about analyzing the logic? Sriram, right now also I can show you that 1 million of data in Talend just gets generated within fraction of seconds. So in terms of velocity, Talend is very good. Okay. Then we have some few questions. Please stay tuned. We have a lot of questions, a lot of interesting questions from a lot of participants. Okay, how do we integrate the other databases with Talend? Okay, this is a question from Suresh. Suresh, I'll quickly show. If you see, if you see this, uh, this particular window, it's called databases. As I said, you name the database. Talend has a connector for this. Okay, you talk about AS400, Access, DB Logic, DB2, Firebird, Greenplum, even some of the database we might not have heard. Hive, Informix, MS SQL Server, MySQL, Netezza, Post, GRE SQL, Redshift, SAS, Sybase, Teradata, Vertica. All right, everything they have component, all kind of. In Oracle, if you see how to connect to Oracle, how to do commit, how to write logic, how to run queries, how to get the data out, everything is there. So I believe that answers your question. Shiva Kumar is saying, so for every task, do we need to design logic? No, Shiva Kumar, the primary concept in Talend is how do we read the data? Once we read the data, then what do you want to do on top of the data? What business logic you want to write on top of the data? Based on that, we select the components. Okay. How do we integrate components? Okay, that is answered. How can one build another application that will let to interact with HDFS Talend and get the result in Excel or PDF? Okay. Srini is asking, how do we process and get the result in Excel? Srini, if you see, there is also one component called input and output. Okay, let me show you an output. There is something called T file output Excel. All right. If you want to generate an Excel file, this is the output that we need to use. This we are going to cover extensively during our course curriculum, that if we want to generate a delimited file or a database file or a PDF file or an Excel file or a fixed width file, which is a mainframe file, or a JSON file, any kind of file, or even a multi-schema file, unstructured file, we can use Talend for that, right? Manoj says, perfect case study. Thank you very much, Manoj. And then we have, can you show one? Uh, sure, Priya. Priya says, can you show one pig use cases? Stay tuned there, Priya. Let me answer a few other questions. I'll show that in minutes. Yeah. Ruchi saying, okay. Prasanna is saying, can we push the output to the table or in a database? Yes, Prasanna. If you see, we can push the output to databases. I can push the data. If you want to push the data in HDFS itself, we have to use the T Hive output. But if we want to bring the data to local and then want to push the data, let's say in Oracle, then I will use T Oracle output. I'll show you the component T Oracle output. Okay, inserts or updates lines into Oracle table. Okay, then why it is showing in and is as a word, it increases the complexity for sentiment analysis. From where we will get the real data sets? Is there any specific website? Bose is saying, Bose, see, this is a simple analysis of any weblog file. We cannot decide what word we want to see, right? We are just measuring the frequency of the word. So if there is any specific word we want to skip, we can put a filter component which will skip those specific word, right? Hadoop admin Talend a good combination for big data professional? Bilal is asking, is Hadoop admin plus Talend is a good combination of big data? Definitely, Bilal. I strongly recommend it. Sai Kiran is saying, are there any limitation in this form of MapReduce, like a scenario which can be done only achieved with Java and Python? I don't think so. I don't think so, Sai Kiran. There is any limitation, okay? Because it supports, if you see the big data, if you see the big data area, okay, it supports Cassandra, it supports CousDB, it supports Google BigQuery, Google Storage, HBase, HCatalog, HDFS, Hive, MongoDB, okay. It supports Pig, it supports React, it supports Scoop, it supports Hive, everything. You name it, it supports all the platforms. So there is no difference. In fact, it is more. It makes more sense to do it through Talent. Abdul is asking, can we update data in HDFS using Talent? Abdul, I believe there is a concept in HDFS. There is only overwritten or there is any fresh creation. There is no update logic. That's a logic that has been given by HDFS. So there is no update. Mathivaran asking, is Talent also used a reporting tool? Not exclusively Mathivanan. It's not an exclusive reporting tool. It's a predominantly a data analysis, data integration, and big data tool. But yes, they also have some supporting layer, supporting mechanism for reporting. Can you give me how to design the logic? Example for a small task of how to design the logic. Shiva Kumar, that is clear, everything will be clear. Okay, I will show one small file how to read and do little bit of transformation on that file when I will show the big way of doing it. Does it have machine learning capabilities? Jayanta asking, as of now I'm not really sure. This can be done using RNG students. Yeah, okay. Can you summarize the report workflow? Summarize the report workflow. I didn't get that question, if I could understand. What kind of analysis can be done? Any kind of analysis, data level, or anything that need to be addressed in terms of data integrity or big data. Can we email the graph after the job execution? Yes, Abdul. There is a component called mail. I'll show you the component. You see, T send mail sends email with or without attachments. So once your graph is generated, it will just send out one email with the attachment. Okay, everything can be automated in Talent. Then we define custom chart. Yes, Giridharan, we can. Then Prashant is asking, if there is not much technical work involved, how will it help me as a tech to work on it? Obviously, you need to learn Talent. That's the beauty of it. Once you learn Talent, you can do data quality, you can do data integration, you can do big data. There are so many options gets opened up. Yes, a manager also can work on it. Yes, that's right, Prashant. Where is the Talent software was to be installed in the cluster? Suprajit is asking, where is Talent software has to be installed in the cluster, name node or data node or both? It has to be installed, yes, on both. Yeah. What about scalability of Talend? Is it strictly bound with the on-premise setup, or can we connect to cloud? It also can be connected to cloud. If you see, I'll show you who asked this question. Krishna Chaitanya is asking this question. I'll show you. You see, there is exclusively something called cloud. You have Amazon Cloud, you have Google Storage, you have Salesforce, you even have Dropbox as well, I believe. Hang on. It's 5.5. Okay, let me show you. Cloud. Yeah, there's Dropbox as well. So you name it, as I said, you name anything in big data, they have connector for it. All right. It's very interesting, isn't it? Okay, Mujamil asking, can we modify the backend code for based on requirement? You can. You have to be an expert on Java. Yeah. The courses and certification that can run in MapReduce and our Hadoop developer course will go on. Okay, can you say how business intelligence is integrated with Talent? I believe Talent, native Mathivan supports your Jaspersoft report and some of the other report which are complementary to Eclipse based. But as I said, Talent is predominantly a big data and data integration tool. Jahar asking, I'm a 6+ years experience but new to big data technology and want to switch to career. How should I go about it? Should I begin with training on Talent directly? Though I'm in Java. Well, Jahar, if you're good in Java, it is also going to help you a lot in Talent because Talent is based on Java platform. So I definitely recommend learning big data through Talent. Will make a lot of sense for you to switch into the big data area. Abdul is asking, is Talend licensed or 100% open source? They have two flavor of it. The one which I'm using right now is the open source, and there is no expiry. So in terms of learning it, practicing it, and being comfortable with this tool, one of the best tool in the market. They also have a licensed one. When you start using it across industry or any project, you have to procure the license. Even people are also using the open source edition for their project work, but obviously when it comes to some client side work, or someone wants to use it exclusively with proper license, they do have option for that as well. Abhishek asking, will we have hands-on access to the tool for our practice in this course? Yes. Sadanand asking, if we need to generate report every day, how will we trigger it automatically instead of running it manually? All right. So you're asking, how do we run the Talend jobs externally, right? Talend job is quite supported even simply from a Windows command prompt. Okay. And in fact, third-party ETL tool like Control M, Autosys, or when you buy licensed Talend, they also give one third-party tool which can be scheduled. In fact, a small shell script, Unix shell script also can call a Talend job. Yes, so that is doable. Prasanna says, great webinar, thanks a lot. Cheers, Prasanna, thank you. BI features of Talend, Pratik is asking. So I think to answer you quickly, Pratik, BI features of Talend, they have few of the business intelligence component as you see here, right? They have charts. These are again family, sub-families. In charts, they have T-bar chart, T-line chart. One of the use case I had shown using T-bar chart. Then they have slowly changing dimension DB. Then you have Jasper Soft. Then you have OLAP Cube, and within OLAP Cube you have Mondrian and Palo, and then you have SPSS, right? So this is primarily the business intelligence family. Rajesh is asking very critical question. What is the best way to step into big data domain? Doing big data Hadoop with Talend or only Talend will be sufficient? I would say doing Talend with big data with the knowledge of bit of HDFS and MapReduce will make sense. But yes, if you're not doing it also, no harm. Big Data Hadoop does all kind of analysis, whereas Talend looks only for ETL. No, 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 no. Talend do all the analysis that Big Data is capable of. Only difference is you don't write the programming. You do it in a tool, a drag and drop, which is more easy. Why Talend only select for Hadoop? No, Ravi, you can select Talend for learning data integration. If you want to learn ETL also, this course also makes you a competitive ETL resource. This course also makes you a big data resource. So there are multiple output out of this course curriculum. When Subramaniam says, will Talend bring data from social media like FB, Twitter? Yes. If you see, it also supports file like JSON file, right? I have done one project on Facebook where the files comes in JSON format. If you see T file input JSON, it supports JSON format. Or else, if you know how to extract the data from Facebook on the backend, it generates delimited files, and obviously under file, if you see, it supports delimited file as well. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Drummond saying we need knowledge of Hadoop ecosystem to work with Talend. A little bit of knowledge is no harm, but not mandatory. What are the big companies using Talend tool? Venkateshwar is asking. Citibank, recently HP, and then you have Virgin. Okay, you go to their website. I don't remember all the name, but they have quite a big base of clients. Prasanna, today time will not allow the MDM features, but definitely during the class I'll show the data quality and MDM. Don't we need partitioning here like in ab initio data stage? Yes, Abhishek, it does support partitioning as well, data level. How Talend differs from analytics tool like R and SAS? Uh, Talent, Raman, answer your question. Talent is predominantly if you want to be the backend guy who wants to excel on big data and more on data integration. See, there are a lot of tools in the market to do analytics, but analytics tools are useless without data in a structured and proper format. And Talent is the area who does that. Okay, hope I answers your question. Priya asking how output is going to be decided, whether it is Excel or Word. It's completely up to you. If you use Excel output, it will be Excel. If it is Word output, it will be Word. If it is a text output, it's a text. Okay. Vijay is asking what is MDM. Vijay, MDM stands for Master Data Management. Krishna Chaitanya asking, does Talent provide any reports on the MapReduce job statistics? Yes, there is a family called logs and errors. You will see it during course curriculum that once you design any job in Talent or in big data, how do you track the logs and how do you make a reconciliation or statistical process out of that job? So all kind of information we get under the logs and errors. Swati Saxena saying, I have a good knowledge about MapReduce and Pig. So do I need to learn Talent? Again, you are going to do the programming way, right? So let's say if you spend 30 minutes to get a job done and write a program, Talent for big data person can just finish up that in 1 minute. So that's, I hope that answers your question. All right. Velan is saying there is no coding involved in Talent at all, no coding knowledge required. Is it something like IBM data stage on a larger scale? Well, I would not compare it with IBM data stage, though I have worked on data stage as well. It is a ETL tool, and now Talent for big data is a product offered by Talent, which is exclusively based on big data area, and it uses the core knowledge of the data integration. So there is no coding required. Can you? Okay. Abhishek saying, what are the limitations of Talent compared to the other major ETL tools? I don't see any limitations at all, Abhishek. I have worked in and out in Talent, and I have also worked on Informatica, Data Stage, Ab initio. I don't see any limitations in Talent. What are requisites knowledge is needed to learn Talent? No prerequisites, Raman. You can just come walk into the class, and I'm pretty sure when you'll walk out of the class, the end of course curriculum with the certification, you would be more than happy, and you realize that you have taken the best decision to learn the big data this way. Is there any chance to change my course Big Data Hadoop to Talent for Big Data? Mine Kandan is saying, is that any chance to change? I will not be able to answer that. You have to contact our technical team, but I think ideally you should be able to. Yes. Kiran is saying, finally it's MapReduce only. So how come it's fast? Kiran, I never said it's fast. I said rather than you want to be a hard worker or you want to be a smart worker. That's the difference between doing it MapReduce way or doing it in Talent way. Yeah. Is packages are available here like Pig? Janani saying is packages are available here like Pig. Yes, Janani. I'll show you quickly. If you see here in big data, you have Pig component. I'll show one Pig job. Okay, test Pig scenario. If I'll show one job, I think it will be more clear in terms of Pig. Okay, this is one of the Pig job that I had built, and once I will run this job, you would realize that it is actually those people who have already done some of the big data courses. You would have realized that MapReduce program generates a file called reducer, right? So out of this, once the Talent job is finished, you would realize that it generates a reducer file. So stay tuned there. Give me 5 minutes. Let me answer all the questions. I love answering all the questions. Let me answer all the questions. I'll show you running this Pig Talent job, which will do exactly the same thing, which I can bet you will take much more time comparison to Talend if you do it in MapReduce programming way. Okay. What are the advantages Ravi is asking of Talend over other ETL tool like Informatica, DataStage, Ab initio? It is more flexible in terms of handling any data, one-liner answer. Even though there are much more advantages like it can connect to anything, everything. I don't think other ETL, most of the ETL tool they connect to anything. I believe Talend is more flexible that way. Difference between Shivkumar saying difference between MapReduce and Pig is has custom partitioner, but Pig doesn't. What about Talend? See, Shivakumar, Talend is just has they have built a platform where it is taking the advantage of existing technologies in big data. It is up to you whether you want to write 1,000 line of Pig script or you just want to do the same thing using Talend in 5 minutes. Okay. Prashant is asking Hadoop will be installed on different nodes. How will Talend integrate with them instead of all nodes? That is something, Prashant, that you will see during the class. How do we connect from Talend to Hadoop? Just now I have run one job you would have seen in HDFS only. So we have to connect from Talend to the HDFS. Prashant is saying, can we execute Talend job every day at a particular time? Yes, Prashant. It also supports scheduler. When we will see during our class how do we run the Talend job externally, we do not have to come to the graphical user interface. We can just kick off the job from anywhere and it will do the same thing. Yes, we can kick off one particular job, not one particular job. You can kick off thousands of jobs at the same time, one after other or maybe parallelly. Kiran is asking how many days training Edureka is providing on Talend. What about the price? I believe Kiran, you can check the price online, but the classroom session that normally we take in Edureka, it's a 30 hours class, and that too we have a certification project, and hands-on is 25 hours. Okay, so it's a 10 module program. It's a 10 class. Each class consists of 3 hours on weekends. Share is saying where can we download this tool? You can download this. Yeah, it's available on the website. It is being answered. Bilal asking apart from Thailand, do I need any other Hadoop component to start learning? Is HDFS part of Talend installation? Yes. You don't need to learn anything. Seth is asking when will Talend course start? This Saturday, Seth. We have already finished the first batch. We had an immense response for our batch 2 and batch 3. The batch 2, I don't know if there are still seats available. You can contact Edureka directly. We are starting this off on 9th of May, second batch, and third batch is starting on June. Abdul is asking, is it good only for big data or it can replace data warehouse ETL tools like SSIS and Informatica? Yes, it can replace also. If we, a lot of companies, they're migrating from DataStage to Talend, Informatica to Talend, SSIS to Talend. It can also replace other ETL tools. Big data is an extension of it, but data integration is the core business. Bilal saying thanks a lot for the nice and informative webinar. It was seriously changed my perception. Thank you very much, Bilal. Vasavara says thanks for the Talend info. Lakshmi says thanks, good presentation, got fair idea. Seth is asking when will the course start in near future? This Saturday, Seth, that is 9th of May. Krish saying not to migrate existing big data environment where we get okay. Arif saying, can we connect social media network like Twitter, Facebook through Talend? Yes, we can download the file and then Talend can get connected. What prerequisites knowledge we need to learn Talend? No prerequisites, Raman, as I said. Priya asking, Talent has name node and job tracker like in Hadoop? Yes, Priya. Yes. Bose is asking, Talent is enough to land a job in big data? Yes. All right. Very good webinar. Suresh saying, Ravi, thank you. Janani saying, thank you very much for an immediate response. Right. Difference between 5 weeks and 15 days, Giridharan. It's only on Saturday, Sunday. So that will span for a month. Each Saturday, Sunday, 3 hours. Jayanta saying, can you share recording of this seminar? It is going to be uploaded in the website tonight, so you can come back and check. And we already have the previous sessions webinar on the Edureka website and also on the YouTube. Anurag says, thank you very much, Nayak. Thank you, Anurag, for your participation. All right, let me showcase those people who were interested to see how does sorry, a pig scripting works. Okay, if you see what I'm doing in this particular job scenario, I'm just showing that talent capability is not only limited to data analysis. Same thing what you can do in MapReduce programming also it can do. Okay, okay. So if you see this particular pig job, okay, I'm reading one file. Okay, I'm reading one file and then I'm filtering the data and I'm storing the result. Okay, I'm filtering the data and I'm storing the result in the same file. I'm doing it in 7th May 07 May 1 and then one more file aggregating and I'm generating the file as 07 May 2. Okay, I'll run this job. And by the time the job is finished, let me answer some few more questions. If anyone's question, this is a request, if anyone's question is still not addressed, and it may be possible because we have huge questions from all of the participants, and believe it or not, we had more than 300 registration for this webinar today. So anyone's question I have still not answered, please paste it again now, because I'm checking up the recent questions now and there is huge pile of questions. For me, going back to the old question is not possible now. So if you can just re-paste your question, I would really appreciate that, and I'll answer that. Lakshmikant saying, to learn Talend, do we need to learn Hadoop concept too? No, not really, Lakshmikant. That's the beauty of this course. For Talend, do you have videos updated in YouTube? Yes. Yes, Shivakumar, yes. Bilal says, HDFS part of Talend installation? Yes. Bose says, do Edureka provide, job assistance? I think Bose, you need to contact Edureka for that. They do. What about Talend plus Hadoop admin is the best option? Yes, Rajesh, that's a best combination. If you want to learn the core Hadoop as well as how to handle Hadoop smartly and big data, best combination. Kiran asking, what is the overall average time to roll out Talend in the organization at approximate what cost? Kiran, in fact, I do provide corporate trainings on these kind of areas as well. Now, average time that I see to train a set of people in Talend is a month's time, okay, to make them up and running. And in terms of installation, I think it's instantaneous. But looking at the ecosystem of any particular organization, I would rather say training and installing everything to make up and running a month's time. Arivoli saying, I'll park your question, Arivoli, I'll come back to it. Talend versus Trisata versus SyncSort, your take. Sanket asking, Talend versus Trisata versus SyncSort. My take is Talend, definitely Trisata. Sridhar, definitely go for Talent because it is more flexible in terms of what it can do comparison to Pentaho. I have used Pentaho as well. It's also a good tool, but in terms of flexibility and handling different kind of data, Talent is fantastic. Bilal saying I'm DBA with 10 years experience. I want to get into big data. Is starting with Hadoop administration course the right approach towards big data? Completely up to you, Bilal. If you want to exclusively be on the Hive side, then obviously what you are saying is right. But if you want to learn the overall big data along with bit of Hive, you want to concentrate, then Talent for Big Data is the best course. Gautam asking, Talent can process PDF data file as well? Yes, my friend, it can. When data stage 8.7, Shekhar asking, data stage 8.7 can support big data. How does Talent is different from data stage or any other ETL tool? It might be repetitive question. Please elaborate your answer. No problem, Shekhar. I'll show you one sample data, Shekhar. This is for everyone. Okay. Yeah. This is the data. Okay, Shekhar. So if data stage 8.7 is capable of processing the data and it can support big data, right now the file that you see on your screen, this is for everyone. Does this file look like any structured file to anyone? Does it look like a typical row column format file to anyone? Can I get a quick answer? Talend will just process this file into structured data in minutes. I bet try it in data stage. That's my take on it. All right. So as I said, Talend is very flexible in terms of processing the data. I have seen other ETL tools also, my friend. Trust me, the beauty with which Talend handles the data is awesome. Its flexibility is too good comparison to other ETL tool. How can we find in Talend? Yeah, in Talend, Somshakar, all failures comes in the run console in here itself. If you see, okay, let me see. I just ran one. Hang on there. Hang on there. I just ran one pig result, right? Pig job. Some people wanted to see a pig job. How does it behave and all. I just ran one pig job. User root. All right. For all of you who have little bit of knowledge on pig, or those who do not have knowledge on pig also, I just ran one pig job, okay, where what I was doing is I'm just reading a very small file in pig. I'm doing filtration in the same pipeline. I'm filtering that data. I'm preparing one file named as pig07may1, and I'm aggregating that data in the same pipeline, and I'm generating one more file called as 07may2. In 07may2, if you see, it created one reducer file, right? And it has summed up it as 3. I'll also show you which file it has taken up for reading. Hang on there. It is reading this file, user root input. Okay, let us check quickly. User root input. Input is a file. I'll just show you what file I have taken. This is the file which I have taken in my pig scripting. So the first value, which is ID, in one link it has summed up. It has summed here 1 plus 2, 3 is coming in the reducer, and in one it is filtering the data. I am only taking the ID with value 1. Okay. If I go back again to user root, 7th May 2, if you see, and one more is pig 7th May 1. Since I have only filtered, it has created one mapper. Okay, and the other one has created one reducer. Are you happy? For those who were curious to know how does talent support Pig. Can I get a quick smiley from those who were curious to know how does this works? How does Pig works? All right, thank you. Okay. Okay, let me take up some few more questions before we wind up the session. In talent course, are the administration stuff going to be covered? Depends, Ravi, what administration you are talking about, whether talent administration or. All right. So Supreet says, I have 2 years of experience in application support. Can I join talent to work on talent support something? Yes, why not? See, the primary motive of this course curriculum is to make everyone a winner of both the world. Even though, let's say, you are still skeptical about big data, still you are a hot cake. You are a hot scale on talent where you can do ETL, you can do data analysis, you can do data integration, many things. Lot of projects they are migrating from Informatica to talent, SSIS to talent, amnesia to talent. You can become a critical resource over there. Abdul is saying, is it no schema tool? No, Abdul, it does generate other schema. We will see during the course how do we create different schema, how do we even create dynamic schema. Talent is also a beautiful tool in terms of accessing values of dynamic variable on the fly during the runtime. That's again one more beauty which other ETL tools don't support. Supreet is saying, can you please give me link of Edureka talent present where all details regarding. Supreet, I think in YouTube also they have pasted most of the videos, a few of the sessions, and in fact, if you go to talent for big data course module in Edureka, you can find few of my videos over there. How talent ID is better than Hadoop? Talent is using Prerana Hadoop. Yeah. How can we find a node failure in talent? Somsekar, as I said, in order to find a failure, if there is any failure, if you see here, my my run console, and this is typically I had run one MapReduce program. Okay, so if you see my run console, it is showing you most of the MapReduce programming log. All right, so all these logs are accessible, and we can read and we can redirect these logs. All right. All right, let me see quickly some few more questions. Do we have any crash courses like a 15-day course learning talent? Yeah, Prasanna, the course which we had is not even 15 days, it's just hardly 10-day course. 10-day course, and each day is 3 hours. Prasanna is asking 15-day crash course. If you are asking a continuous 15-day, then definitely I would recommend them to start off one. Yeah, thank you for the suggestion, Suresh. Suresh is saying, can you tell how secure are these tools for banking project? Suresh, I just showcased you one of the banking use case, and which is from one of my real-time project experience. Yeah, so don't worry in terms of that because Hadoop has already addressed through Yarn and other security challenges in Hadoop too. Both you can go to many of the area where they can provide real-time website. A lot of people are thanking for the webinar. It was great having you guys on board, and thank you very much for being here. Anurag saying, I am a SQL BI developer typically working on SSIS and Tableau for reporting. Will learning talent help me? Well, why not? I can always tell you I have also worked on SSIS, SSRS, SSAS, and Anurag, I can strongly tell you talent is definitely much way ahead than SSIS. Yeah. Does it process machine image, video, data? Not that I'm aware of, Anand. Yeah. Job market scope is great, Anurag. Velan is saying a very interesting question. Can we read the invoices generated and analyze the data on it? Yes. And recently I just showed one data. Velen, do you see this kind of data? This is what exactly I was talking about. The flexibility Talend offers in order to read this kind of data is magnificent. This is actually a weblog file, all right? And Talend is quite competent in reading this kind of data. Thank you very much. It was great. And this is SR Naik, your webinar host and your trainer, signing off along with Edureka team. Thank you very much. For any enrollment queries or anything, please contact Edureka.